Leslie's Baking Basics. In this episode today, we're going to be making bacon, cheddar, and chive biscuits. They're great for a snack or good for breakfast. So, from my kitchen, let's get baking. Hello, here we are in the kitchen. So today the first thing on the recipe is to preheat your oven to 450 degrees, and we've done that. The first thing on the recipe is bacon. Now this recipe calls for 6 strips of bacon that you can fry in your pan until done, and I have done that already. As you can see right here, I have my 6 strips of bacon, and we're going to cut those on the cutting board. We're going to dice them into small pieces. As you can see there, the bacon has now been cut and diced, and we are going to put that aside. The first ingredient, that is our dry ingredients, is going to be 4 cups of flour we'll be putting into this bowl. You can use all-purpose flour or you may use wheat, but it's up to you. So that's 4 cups into the bowl. Third ingredient we have in our recipe today calls for chives. Now you can buy this in the chives that come like this. They're in the package, and you can find them in the vegetable area of your grocery store. And here they are down here. They come along like this. And so we're going to cut these now into 1/2 cup and add them to the bowl. The next ingredients are going to be baking powder, baking soda, and salt. So here we have normal table salt, and that calls for 1½ teaspoons. One teaspoon baking soda, and 4 teaspoons baking powder. Now comes the cheese. You can use any kind of cheese that you like. I'm using sharp cheddar cheese, and I'm also using it in a bag that has it pre-grated. You can also use medium cheddar. It calls for 1/2 cup. It's okay if it's a little overflowing. Here we go. And into the bowl. And there's our dry ingredients. Now let's add the bacon and stir. Remember, that was 6 slices of bacon. So far, smells good. At any time, you may add more cheese if you like, but this is what the recipe calls for. Now let's add the liquid. Now I'm going to tell you a tip or trick. To make your own homemade buttermilk, you can use any kind of milk you have and add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. It continues to bubble and it looks like it's curdled, but it's not. That's how the buttermilk is made, by the 2 things combining. Or you can buy, like I did, the already pre-made buttermilk in the dairy section, and it calls for 1 3/4 cup. And now the last ingredient to our bacon and cheddar and chive biscuits calls for butter. It calls for 3/4 cup of frozen butter. So let's get our butter out. Came from the freezer. Look onto our measuring there. And we know, as we learned, 1 full cube is a half a cup. So we have 1, and we'll cut this 1 in half. And there we have it. Now we're going to be using a cheese grater on the large side to grate our butter into our mixture for easy mixing. Now let's stir. We will be stirring until a soft dough forms, and then we will take it and pour it out onto a floured board. Make sure your hands are washed, and now let's form it into a ball. Now the recipe calls for using our rolling pin and rolling it into a rectangle about 1.5 inches thick. So let's get our rolling pin, dust it with flour, and roll. We have our biscuits at 1.5 inches that we're going to be using for the thickness, and we're going to be using a regular drinking glass like I have right here, and we'll be cutting in circles and putting them on our parchment paper. So let's do that. Now when we have leftover dough like this, we will push it together and put it into a ball again and cut out the excess. And there you have it. Here's our 12. It came out with 12 plus, so that's pretty good. Now we put it into the freezer for 15 minutes. I'll see you then. Here are 12 biscuits that we have taken out of the freezer, and now we're going to put them directly into our oven and bake for 15 to 18 minutes. So here we go. If you feel that the tops of the biscuits are getting too brown, you may take a piece of foil about the size of the baking sheet and put it over to the top of the last 5 minutes of baking so that they will not get too brown. We'll see you in a few. Okay, it's been 18 minutes, and let's take a look at our biscuits that came out from the oven. Beautiful, golden brown, uniform in shape. Look real good. So I'm going to take them off now, and I'm going to let them cool on the cutting board for a couple minutes. But they're best to eat warm. So let's take them off. Now it's time for the taste test. Let's take a look inside our biscuit. I see good bacon in there. I see cheese and chives. Let's try it. The bacon's good. That'd be great with an egg, so hold on. I fried an egg here, as you can see. I'm going to put that egg on top of there. Cover that over. What a great breakfast meal and a great snack. That's all today. We made our biscuits. I hope they turn out great for you. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Please, if you make any of my recipes or the recipe today, please post it on my Facebook page. I love to see the pictures of what you made. Also, the ingredients for the buttermilk and for the recipe is on my Facebook page, Leslie's Baking Basics. Please like and subscribe on here and leave a comment. And until next time.